Hi there, my name is Karen Engel and I am your instructor for research writing this term. And I wanted to send out an introductory video just to let you know a little bit about myself and also what to expect in this class. And I'm really looking forward to getting to know each one of you over the next 8 weeks. A little bit about me. I've been teaching online college and research writing classes with Moody for about 3 years. I have a master's in biblical studies and theology from Western Seminary. I taught high school English for many years, and I now own an editing company. So I basically am freelance editing when I'm not teaching Moody courses. That editing company, I basically specialize in preparing manuscripts for publication within the Christian market, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful job to have. As you can tell, I love the written word. I am passionate about God's word, and I truly enjoy helping other people become better and stronger writers. So even though there's assignments that you have to fulfill to pass this class, my goal is to help you become a stronger writer and feel like you're a better writer than before you began this class. I currently live in El Dorado Hills, California, which is about an hour and a half west of Lake Tahoe. But we actually this weekend are moving to Bellingham, Washington. And so it's a big move. We're driving on Friday all the way up the coast, and we'll be living in Bellingham. My daughter married a Canadian a few years ago, and they live just over the border in Canada. And so that's our main purpose for moving up there. So big weekend, but I will be back online right on time next week for you. So don't worry, I'm not leaving you hanging. Let's see. We also have a son who is in his second year at Oregon State studying construction management, and he's also in Army ROTC. And both of our kids love the Lord. My husband's name's Brandon. Sorry, I forgot to say that. Our kids love the Lord, and so there's nothing better as parents than to know that they're walking with the Lord and they're doing well. I love the outdoors. I'm an avid biker and runner, but I also love to sit outside with a cup of coffee and read or study my Bible. So that's a little bit about me. If you've reviewed the syllabus, which you should do, you probably have already figured out that this is a bit of a unique class. Every assignment that you submit will lead up to one research paper worth 40% of your grade. And this process is called scaffolding. Some students get really frustrated at the beginning because they don't like what feels like silly or menial tasks. But really, it all leads up to one final research paper, and it makes writing that paper really easy. So hang in there at the beginning. It's called scaffolding, and what scaffolding means is that each assignment that you do leads to the next one. So you'll do one assignment, and then that will lead into the next one, which will lead into the next one, and you keep adding to those assignments, and you end up with a pretty good framework for your final paper. So what I would suggest is that as you do each assignment, and I give feedback from those assignments, that you address those issues right away, and then move on to your next assignment so that you've already dealt with those problem areas and can move on. What happens when students don't do that is I get their final paper and all of those problems are still there. I can tell that they never made those revisions, and it will affect your final grade. If you do this, your final paper at the end of the 8 weeks will be pretty easy, I hope. Other than, you'll have to be adding and filling in with content. So every week you'll take part in the discussion board, which basically takes the place of live discussion time in the classroom. There will be a question you will need to respond to by Friday, 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you have the right time according to where you live. We have students all over the world. So check your time. Central Standard Time is when assignments are due. Then you will read and respond to at least 2 of your classmates' initial posts by the following Monday at 11:59 p.m. So, generally over the weekend, you'll have to be checking those discussion boards and doing some response. It doesn't take long, but you can't really respond to your students, your classmates, until those initial discussion board posts have come in. And then those 2 response postings are due on Monday at 11:59 p.m. That means that your first discussion board post will be this Friday, January 12th, no later than 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time, and your first 2 responses to classmates' posts will be Monday, January 15th by 11:59 p.m. And I do have a little clock checker so I can tell when those assignments come in, so make sure that you have them on time. I do grade these discussion board posts, and they are an easy way to gain points, but they're also an easy way to lose points. I will be looking for responses that are engaging and meaningful and not just quick one-sentence answers to the prompt. You will lose points if you do that. The whole idea is we're getting to know each other, but we're also helping each other out to grow as students, as writers, and as followers of Christ. So let's see. In those discussion board posts, you can ask your classmates questions. You can challenge them in love. If there's something that doesn't make sense, please refrain from unhealthy criticism or opinion that doesn't benefit the person. If you start kind of shooting people down or making them feel bad, I don't really ever see this, but if that happens, then I will let you know that you need to be careful. I'm sending you in the hard copy of this announcement the link for the discussion board grading rubric, and this is what I use to grade your discussion board postings, so check that out. And then on that note, please make sure to check out the resources area. That's where this link is if you need to find it again, but there's all kinds of other things that get put in those resources folders, and handy things that'll help you get through the course of this class. Though this week is an introductory week, the assignments are quite important. Make sure you read the syllabus from beginning to end and watch the review video that Moody has posted. Usually they post one every week, and they're good. You don't want to skip those. You have a few chapters to read in Lester and Lester. You have some PDFs to read, and please complete these first before you attempt to complete your first assignment, and actually make sure you do everything before you complete every assignment. Because I can tell when you haven't done the reading ahead of time. This week, your first assignment is to create a title page and a research proposal or a thesis. And this first assignment is due Monday. I would highly recommend printing out the final research paper instructions and keeping them close at hand as you work through the assignments each week, so you can be double checking yourself. And if you have questions, I'm available over email as well as by cell. If you have a question that needs an immediate answer. So email me first if it's not immediate. If you need an answer right away, then text me. But if you send an email, it's a good idea to also shoot me a text and say, hey, I have a question. It's sitting in your email box. Just wanted to let you know. And then that way, as soon as I'm at my computer or on my phone, I can read it. I don't want you to have to text really long questions. I'm generally at my computer frequently, pretty much most of the day, but I do have some standing commitments, so sometimes it might take me a few hours to get back to you. I follow Moody's guidelines for late work. You can check page 8 of the student handbook to see what those guidelines are. Basically, no credit will be granted for late discussion board postings unless otherwise approved by me. Other written assignments submitted late and accepted by me will be reduced by a minimum of 5% of the total assignment points per day or part of the day in which the work was submitted late. And then this is really important. No late work will be accepted after 7 calendar days from the due date. So at that point, after 7 days, you receive a 0. And I have had students that will go weeks and just get behind and then expect to go back and hand in those assignments. And Moody's pretty strict on that. It is a 0 grade. So you want to make sure that you get those in on time. Again, I'm looking forward to meeting you, and enjoy this first week getting to know your classmates over the discussion board. And just know that I'm praying for you. God bless. Bye-bye.